Well, Canada's Information Commissioner says the National Police Force is failing Canadians when it comes to providing access to information. And she says the RCMP needs an urgent change of course. She has lots of criticism as well for the Cabinet Minister who oversees the RCMP, Public Safety Minister Bill Blair. Information Commissioner Carolyn Maynard joins me now. Madam Commissioner, first of all, thanks for taking time to speak with me today about this special examination of the RCMP. It's good to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
Look, the RCMP is supposed to uphold the law in this country, and you describe the backlog of access to information requests in front of the National Police Force as shocking. Why is it shocking?
Well, it's over 4,000 complaints, requests that have not been responded, and is still in their backlog. 92% of those are not are out of time. I don't know if Canadians know, but under the Access to Information Act in Canada, the institutions have 30 days to respond to requests. Mm-hmm. So that means that in more than 92% of those cases, Canadians have not received their response in that 30 days.
What does it tell you about the commitment of the RCMP to follow the requirements of the Access to Information law?
Well, I was surprised to see that when I got here, when I was appointed 2.5 years ago, I was told that that was a concern from our office already. I met with Commissioner Lucky. She was new at her job as well, so we discussed the concerns. I was hoping that, yes, as a police enforcement agency, they were going to be enforcing the Access to Information Act as well. We noticed that the changes were not being made as quickly as we were hoping. I was hoping that the investigation was going to give them some tips of what to change, what to work on. And as you can see, the response was not as expected.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to dig into that in just a moment here. But in your report today, you gave a recent example of how the RCMP handles some of these access to information requests. You looked at the mass shooting in Nova Scotia and the RCMP's response to the request for documents on that, where they initially said, oh, we don't have any, and then there were all kinds of documents. So what did you learn from that, looking at that example?
Well, there's a lot of issues, and one of the problem is that the analysts dealing with access requests are not familiar with the department itself. So they don't know, first of all, where to go. They don't ask the right questions. They don't challenge the response that they're receiving. In a request like this, when we know there's going to be documents, you need somebody who's very confident and can go back and say, there's no way that there's no response. There must be documents. So you need that challenge function. We have also a very old system where I was explaining in my report. The system is almost like is archaic, and they can only scan 8 pages at a time. It crashes all the time. The poor people working in those units are kind of left on their own. They don't have enough resources. They definitely need a leader that's going to provide them with their resources. On all basics.
Well, I think that's an important point you make, that this kind of process is a top-down process, right? It's a leadership-driven process if you're going to comply, and you're supposed to comply with the law on access to information. I think what's most glaring in the report today is that not only is there a failure to comply, and perhaps a lack of effort it's almost an outright refusal to commit to your recommendations. What do you make of that response from the RCMP?
Well, what I felt was that it was a response where it was very complicit. They were accepting the statu quo. They were accepting that it was an issue and that they could do just little things at a time, where what I was asking is big changes, big plans, targeted changes, and timely, with the time attached to it. Mm-hmm. Right now, all I was told is they knew what the issues were and they were working on them. Not really what I was expected.
You also singled out the Minister of Public Safety, Bill Blair, for criticism as well. How's the Minister responded to your recommendations for change? Does he seem as disinterested as the RCMP is?
Well, during the investigation, this is not the first time. The special report is at the end, completely at the end of the investigation. So they already receive an initial report, a final report, and then the special report is kind of a third time where they hear about my recommendations. During the investigation, I was not receiving as well the responses I was expecting of a minister. There was some plan being, they said they were going to be working on it, but not really with specific plans. This morning I got a call from him, and looks like things are moving. So I'm happy at least that the special report had that reaction to it.
Oh, so it's out in public now, and now people want to make change. Everybody's interested in moving forward now. Okay, so just quickly on this, you've proposed a number of recommendations for change here. So what I want to know, and what Canadians want to know, I think, is what powers do you have to force that change?
Well, unfortunately, at this point, for a systemic investigation, which I initiated myself, the special report is pretty much at the end of my jurisdiction. So I submitted it to the parliamentaries so that they can help me make changes as a government. But what I will do and what I can do is continue to investigate specific and individual complaints, use my powers that I have under the Act, which now includes order-making powers, and continue to force institutions to respect their obligations under the Act.
Okay, we'll continue to follow the story. Information Commissioner Caroline Maynard, thanks so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Bye.